Alright guys, the hero's path is up, and frankly I think this is going to end up being a skip for a lot of people, but there's still some good rewards that you can pick up if you make a beeline for them. But yeah, very costly, especially in relation to the Cat's Gaze, which had a lot of people excited. Not quite anymore, man. Let's break down the points totals that are needed to get your hands on some of the key rewards, as well as some of the more budget-ish rewards that you can make an aim for instead, if you don't want to go for the big ones. Yeah, because I think that's going to be most people in this case. Before we do, remember that you can save the pandas and start off a new raid account with a free legendary champion simply by clicking on the beginner promo link, which is down below at the top of the video description box. All you're going to do is make sure that you're signed out of Plarium Play. Click on that link and use it to create a new account, and you're going to get yourself Bambus 4-Leaf in your inbox as soon as you are done with the in-game tutorial, as well as to go free Epic Champion once your account hits level 15 as well. So if you're looking to create a new free-to-play account, new free-to-play adventure or whatever in 2025, then that link is the way to do it. Okay, man. The hero's path. It's a little bit gnarly, not gonna lie. What are the objectives that we are looking at here, right? It's gonna be leveling and ranking up champions, no skill books, right? So it's champion training event. You can't be throwing legendary skill tomes, whatever, into your champs to just burn up some quick points. It ain't gonna happen. Same with summon champions from shards, right? It's not a champion chase style event, which I was really hoping for, because I am tapped on shards. I ain't gonna be pulling a single goddamn shard during this path myself. Personally, should you be doing so? Well, let's break down the paths, right? Things get expensive very quickly on this path. Now, the first thing I suppose we should cover is the Cat's Gaze. I think that's most like what most players might have been interested in going into this path, and it's all the way down this middle rewards path right here, which does require key number 1 and key number 2. And as you can see, the keys are on the left and right on these sideways rewards tracks, right? So how much does it actually cost you to get the Cat's Gaze? This might surprise you just a little bit, right? So I've done all of the calculations going down the side paths here, picking up the rewards as you go. You have to take this little right side path to grab the key here, which is a 7,000 cost pickup as you go, as opposed to a 6,000 cost. It all adds up, and then you got to make your way down the middle path as well. Go back up, make your way down the middle path, use both of your keys, and then finally land on the Cat's Gaze. That's 101,000 points in 250, if you're going to count the bit at the start. Over 100,000, 1,100k. That's pretty expensive, man. That's pretty expensive. In terms of sacred shards, 22.5 sacred shards will get you to that points total or thereabout to get yourself the Cat's Gaze. 22.5 sacreds. That feels like a hell of a lot. That feels like a gnarly amount that a hell of a lot of people are just not going to even entertain that idea, especially given that there's a fusion coming up. Anniversary events are coming up. The anniversary fusion itself, people are expecting is going to be a very good one and have very good shard pulling events and stuff for that. You really got to pull for this. This feels like an absolute omega bait, if you ask me. Not worth it. I would not be going for this at all. Now, if you're in the other boat, and we'll get to the more like economy, recommended path, I suppose, a little bit later on. If you're going for one of the 5-star souls, which I'd really like to have for the Queen of Hearts, given that I won the bloody Champion Chase tournament in the most dramatic fashion possible recently, how much is it going to cost you to get either of these souls? Well, about 16.5 sacred shards, which isn't that surprising. I feel like about 16 or 17 sacreds usually gets you a 5-star perfect soul on these kinds of event tracks, right? It's about normal. But yeah, it's going to be about 75,000 points total for perfect soul number 1. Basically double that, thereabouts, for both of the perfect souls. So if you want both perfect souls, you're looking at pulling 33 sacreds. Which, again, it's just a little bit nutty. Like, are you really going to do that? That's crazy as hell. It feels like we're beyond whale territory. We're into, like, Cthulhu territory at that point, or something nutty like that. So, yeah, as somebody who pulled all my sacreds to get my hands on Queen in the first place, God damn, Plarium, come on now. Like, we could have made this path a little bit more approachable. I will tell you something, though. Before, I promise, we get to the more, like, economy path that you can go down. Champ training is an option for this hero's path. I'm going to champ train my way to 70,000 points and get that Queen Perfect Soul. I don't give a damn. I don't care, man. I've got 3 days to do this. 3.5 days, actually nearly 4 days to do this. This is what my current food stockpile looks like, right? So I've got, like, quite a lot of 5-star food already leveled up, a bunch of 4-cost champs, 3-cost champs, whatever. I can do this, man. I think I can actually push to do this. And if I go down to my level 50 champs, I got a lot of champs sitting at 50 that I could just take up to 60 as well. These guys are all ready to rock and roll. The Scrammer Screw will take him up. Deacon Armstrong, why not, man? Don't really need him that much anymore, but we'll take him up anyway because he's got the 5-star sword. Let's do it. Durandil, you know what? I've always wanted to run an experiment with Durandil at max level. Let's take him up too. Duck the Pierced, and then a bunch of legendaries that we pulled recently. Goddamn Saish is sitting there, the Knave as well. Queen of Hearts I actually need to grab from my compensation reward just now as well. But I think I might just go ahead and do it. I'm just going to try and champ train my way through this, man. Let's go to the compensation offer. I was waiting to pick up the Queen of Hearts just in case she would give me some free points, but it only lasts like 6 days, so I've got to go ahead and collect her up. So let's do that. Lovely. So she's now ready to level up as well. It's going to be a hell of an adventure. And to be honest, if it's going really bad after the first 24 hours and I'm not even like a quarter of the way there, okay, screw it, fine, I'll give up and I just won't get the perfect soul, is what it is. But if it's going good, we might have to have like some crazy champ training leveling montage go up on the channel some point soon. It would be kind of hilarious. Anyway, let's just see if it's doable, you know? Anyways, man, when it comes to the more economy path on the hero's path, what should you really be going for? Well, to be fair, it's really all about the legendary tomes for me. And on top of the legendary tomes, you probably want to go for the legendary tome that's on the far right side, do you? Nah, screw it. The left legendary tome is better. I think that if you're going to go economy on this, you can only realistically expect to grind out 1 legendary tome over the next 4 days, and even that's going to be pretty tough. I think for most people, the amount of champ training grinding that's going to be required to do that, you might have to pull like 1 or 2 secrets anyway just to get yourself over the line if you feel like it's worth it. But yeah, down the left side path, you get yourself the Mortal Stone. Both sides get the materials for relic crafting, the 200 gems, 5 dusts, and then you finally get to the legendary book. How much is this path going to cost you? Just this sort of like this beeline path to the legendary book. It's going to be about 22,500. Well, wait a minute. No, it's not. I'm screwing up my notes. What is it going to be? God, it's going to be about 25,000 points. That's all you need to know, pretty much. You know, if you want to pull secrets for that, I just say just don't do it. That's like 5 secrets still. Get as close as you can with champ training and then make a judgment call at the end if you're close enough to just kind of nudge yourself over the line with the shard pull. Fair enough. But 25k points to get your hands on 1 legendary book. I think a lot of people are honestly just going to throw their hands up and say, you know what, screw all of this. I'm just going to pretend that this event doesn't exist and focus on, you know, dungeon events or whatever the hell else is going on. Just farming food champions, farming masteries, that kind of thing. And it's going to ignore this hero's path. But yeah, it is the final huge bait event that's trying to tempt people to pull their shards and stuff before the anniversary events are going to start to kick off. At least that's what people are thinking. And frankly, I think Plarium have not done the best job at baiting people into spending their stuff. I feel like they could have made this hero's path a little bit cheaper in terms of just made sacred shards give a bit more point action, like a little bit more bonus points, or give you like 2x points in the event compared to normal for pulling your ancient shards. Something like that, you know? Have they done that actually? 300 points for Ancient Shard isn't too bad. Is it not actually too bad? I'm just going to go ahead and do the math on that real quick away the screen, because I've got to. Okay, so it's 75,000 points to get your hands on one of the 5-star Perfect Souls. If you divide that by 300, what are we looking at here? Okay, it's 250 Ancients. Definitely not 2x on Ancient points or whatever. So yeah, it's still very, very costly to do. I think Plarium could have done a better job at baiting people into wasting their supplies if they're looking to kind of cash in and squeeze people a little bit for the anniversary events, you know? That's just my 2 cents. Anyways, happy times. Good old Queen of Hearts in the champion roster. Oh, feels really, really good. Yeah, are you guys going for the hero's path? Are you guys going for the legendary tome? Is it just a complete skip for you? Let me know what y'all think. In the meanwhile, if you're looking to create a new raid account in 2025, make sure to do so using my beginner promo link to get your hands on a legendary panda. Who wouldn't want that as your starter champion? And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to catch all of y'all just a tad bit later, man.